Hey, welcome back. Part 3 in this series of how to increase your faith. Last time we talked about the promise of Jesus and I asked you to go away, do some research, do some self-reflection, and hopefully you've done that. And now I want to ask the question again, do you believe in the promise of Jesus? If not, why not? If not, why not? If you don't believe in the promise of Jesus, those of you who do, hold on, I'll pick up with you here in a second. But if you don't, why not? And I want you to take some time and write down those reasons. Send them to me via email. Get a hold of me on social media. You can reply to this email and I'll read all the replies. But if you don't believe in the promise of Jesus, why not? Because that is a fundamental question. And the answers that you give to that question are going to give you insight into where you are, into how open-minded or closed-minded you are, going back to the first installment of this series. You see, I believe that if you approach this topic for sure, and I know many other topics, with an open mind, there is so much to be gleaned from that. So if you don't believe in the promise of Jesus, or you're a little shaky, list down why not. Here are the reasons I'm a little bit shaky. Here's the reasons I don't believe in the promise of Jesus. And you know what? It's so much fun because, number one, if you, as we said last time, if you approach this with, okay, let's assume here, I know we're not supposed to assume, but for sake of this series, let's assume that the promise of Jesus is true. You can have eternal life and a life to the full here on earth by following Jesus. That's the promise. Okay, so if you believe that, or if you don't believe it, but if you assume that it is true, you know where faith comes in? Faith is that gap. Faith is the gap between what you believe and this truth that we're proclaiming in this series. That is your faith gap. Hence, if you want to increase your faith, which is the whole topic of this series, guess what you've just done? You've identified your gap. And I would submit to you, anybody that's watching this, including myself, I've got a faith gap. I've got a faith gap. I do. So we all do. So the cool part is to identify what your faith gap is. Where is it you don't trust Jesus? Is it with your finances? Is it with your kids? Is it with your job? Is it with your relationship? Where is it you don't trust Jesus? Is it with your bills? Finances, same thing. Where is it you don't trust Jesus? That becomes your gap. Isn't this fun? Okay, we'll see you next time.